Hello guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So we are in developing our PinCode app. We have made 4 videos. So let's go back to where we are today. Okay, so we are making this application where user will enter the PIN code and will hit a backend API, get the response. Okay, so currently we have developed the input form component. Let me show you that here by running, and we have prepared videos on those till fourth one. Then in this video we are going to see how we can pass on that pin code. I mean, we have entered from the text input text box to the API implementation. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. We don't need this arrow here. So from child to other child we are going to pass it, that one. So as you can see here, we are running this application, and 560100. Okay, now you could see we got this, and this application we have to go and hit the API response. Okay, so uh, so for this purpose, before that, let me explain this code little high level. So we got the pin code data, and we have the input text box and on change activity. In on change activity, we are setting that pin code, and when user clicks on submit, we are logging as of now. When user clicks on reset, we are resetting that pin code. Okay, so when user clicks on submit here, we should send our pin code. Now you could see passing to API, right? This one. Okay, here we have the response. We need to send this to the API and get the results. Okay, so uh, before to that, I just wanted to ensure here we need to do it, right? Okay, we'll do one step at a time instead of confusing. Go here, create a folder like API. Here, create a new file called postal API.js. I don't think we need a CSS as of now. If needed, we will add it definitely. So function postal API, right? Postal API export default postal API. Okay, so this one, obviously we have to, from the child component, from input form, we need that data, right? So for that purpose I'm using the props here. Return, let's say inside div, let's print this guy. Let's say props dot pin code. Okay, pin code, this one we need to set it in our child component, and we need to get it back. Okay, so as you can see, we are here, and here we need to set simply. As of now, let's add in this way: postal API and uh, pin code is equal to, what is that? This is one, right? We have it in the use state, right? So that data we can directly send it here. Okay, and if I run this, what will happen? It's compiling in the down. Yeah, compilation completed. Now you could see we are getting the data directly. Okay, and 60100. Now you could see for each and every click of a character we are sending it. We don't need that. Once the entire pin code is built, then only I want to send. For each and every character, if I send, means there were too many characters, right? And for each and every clear as well we are sending. I mean, for reset, as well. So I wanted to ensure to remove that functionality. Okay, so for that purpose, what I need to do is let's create one boolean variable, and once everything built only, we are going to make it true so that we can pass it. So constant, let's say like pass bool. Okay, I will pass flag set pass flag. Here let's use state of false, and this use state when we are setting in input field for each and every character it is going, right? We don't want that. So here we need to set it as false, and in reset as well we need to set it as false, but only when we are clicking on the submit we need to set it as true, so that at the time of submit means I know my pin code is formed completely. So in that purpose, in that sense, we are setting this as true. Okay, that is okay, but are we using it as of now? No. Let's use that. So here something like this. So this is pass flag is equal to true. When it is true, only we are calling this API. So it is done. Let's refresh it. Now let's see, 560,100. Are we sending it to the child API as of now? No. When I click on submit, I'm sending it. That means I'm doing only one call to the other component here. That is what we wanted. So we have achieved that. Cool. This is done, right? So and here we need to hit the API. So let's build that property here. Okay, so instead of using it everywhere, let's use here pin code is equal to props dot pin code. Likewise here let's use it props dot pin code. Okay, so once we build this, here let's call our API and get the results. So for that purpose, what I am going to do is let's create a function called function get postal details as a API. Okay, so we are going to use the fetch API in this case. So fetch is going to be asynchronous. So let's use async here itself directly. Okay, so I'm going to use fetch here. And what is our backend API? Let's go to the postal API for free, and here we should have our backend API. This is what we are going to do. Okay, so this part, this is the actual pin code, will come from our input text box, right? So let's take this guy, and here let's keep it URL. I will select URL is equal to plus pin code. Okay, and this URL we are passing it to the fetch here. Okay, so here constant response is equal to await of fetch. Okay, um, then constant data is equal to response dot json, because this is our json data, right? So response dot json, and um, yeah, cool, nice. As of now this is looks okay to me. So if you want to have more details about this fetch API, I suggest you guys to watch this video where I have prepared. This is the first video. Okay, a random joke generator is there, right? Where we have used this fetch API get call. Okay, so we got the response here into the response data. That is okay. Okay, now this response data we need to handle it, right? So in the beginning it will not have anything, and after some time, after clicking on, after hitting this API, we are going to get the response. So from beginning state to the next state it is translating. So to handle that, let's use the let's use a use state directly. Okay, here use state here, then uh, yeah, cool, constant constant here, uh, like pin response set pin response is equal to use state of, this is a array of data. As you can see here in the first character, you could see here this is an array of data. Okay, or else we can use a beautifier and you can see as well, not a big deal. And by the way, I'm going to put this in the description so that it's easy for you to check that out. So I'm going to keep it like this. Okay, then once we have formed this, we need to use set pin code response to data. Okay, so this is done. Cool. Here as well I need to use await basically, because it might take a little bit of time to get the response, right? Cool, nice. And anything else from my side? No, this is what it is. But there is a one problem to it. Who is calling this API? This is the function I have prepared. That is good. But who is calling this? Anyone calling it? And can I able to directly call it without any action? No. If I have a button, I can click on it. On click activity, I can call this function. But as of now, we don't have any on click as per the design. If you go back to the design, we don't have anything here. Okay, so by the way, when I click on submit, it should automatically call the API, right? So this API calling is a side effect. Okay, in order to do this, let's use state. Use state will going to handle side effects. Sorry, not use state, use effect. Use effect will be going to handle this sort of side effects. Okay, so let's check this guy out like this. Use effect of, this is a syntax function, and when there is a change here, this is a dependencies. Okay, what are the different dependencies you want to handle? You can handle when there is a change in the dependency, I can call this method. Okay, so what is a change in dependency? In my case, there's a change in pin code. I want to execute this method. Okay, so here we have already prepared this set. So let's keep this guy in. Okay, then we have one error in the down. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, here we should call the method directly. Okay, so we have called the method, but let's show the response as well somewhere. Okay, so here console.log data, and yeah, that should be it. Let's log URL as well, console.log URL. Okay, so what is happening from my input form, I am calling this API. In this API, I am in my input form, I am sending my pin code, and when there is a change in that data here, I'm simply when I'm simply using the use effect to hit the backend API directly. Okay, so this is built here. Let's go here, and later other things we are going to see. Okay, now you could see directly here. Let's refresh here. 560,100. It's no API call is happening here. When I click on submit, one API call is happening here, and I am getting the response accordingly. Okay, so this is our backend API related information. Okay, we can use this response here. The response is available here. Okay, so let's, for demo purpose, let's use something here. Response, pin response, sorry. Yeah, so pin response of, this is array, right? So at zeroth index we have the message. Okay, so let's, you could see here, found 2, like this. Okay, this is the one we are doing, sorry. So let me beautify this so that 560,100. Okay, we got the response. Now you could see number of message and the number of pin code found are 2. This is what we are displaying here. Okay, and how we can display this entire data as a tabular format, because we need this sort of table to handle that, right? That response, right? Also, how we can handle the error code when there is no message as well, we need to see. Okay, so as of now what I can do is simply use this guy try here, try catch, to handle that sort of error message, and in our next video we can use something. Okay, let's use error here. Okay, and if there is some sort of a, you know, issue here, okay, that means um, if response dot okay, okay, if response dot okay is not okay, then we need to throw new exception. Okay, new new exception of the error, I guess is error. Yeah, new error where um, something thing went wrong, please try. Okay, and that we are going to set it here. Okay, so usually again we need to use a use state here, because in the beginning there is no error message, something happens. Okay, then that error will have come, and that also we can display instead of the table response, because we need to see the second use case as well, right? Table response will come when everything is good, but when something went wrong in the API, let's say there is no internet connectivity, or there's that pin code is not valid, some sort of things will be there, right? So in that case what we can do, that we are handling here, trying to handle here. Okay, so that's why. So for that purpose, let's use one more here, constant error message, set error message of use state. Use state in the beginning is null value, and here uh, we need to have what is it, set error message of um, error dot message. We have, else let's keep it error only, let's see what is going to happen. Okay, okay, error message, everything is looks cool as of now. Here we can add some sort of a error message itself. Okay, for demo purpose what I'll do is I'll manually change this guy to 1, and here instead of this I'll keep it error message. In our next video we can see how we can handle this error message as well. Okay, this is correct as of now. Yeah, cool. Now let's refresh this guy. I think something goes wrong here. 5601000. I think no error data. Okay, 404. Here only they are sending. Okay, as part of this request is not found message. One second, one second. So not okay. One second. Let me debug this guy in. Okay. So if it is not okay, let's see here. Did we get this message? Exception error found console.log here dot message. Let's see, because here we have the message object, right? Here it is successfully compiled, and 5601000. Okay, okay, so it is actually not going into this. Okay, this is not going here. Here only they are handling it. Okay, not a big deal. We will handle that as well. Else if I keep it 1 like this, it will not get into that endpoint directly. Now you could see no result. Okay, here only it is getting failed. 5601000. Okay, yeah, no, okay. So we'll do one thing. In our next video we'll handle it properly. But the concept of error message is like this. We can use a use state and we can set the response. All the things are correct, but this error message handling only little improper, that we will try to handle. Not a big deal. Okay. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Thank you guys.